let's talk about gratitude for a second. So, this has been as big a realization as I guess, influence as psychedelics or the love of the people around me. Um, and I learned it this last time I went through withdrawals. I've been to rehab like 7 times, a ridiculous amount, and it always felt like a little soul crushing because you have these authority figures telling you what to do. The reality is I am a very intelligent and very capable man. I know that now. I never believed it before, but now I'm aware of it, and I finally understand that's why I've always had a problem with authority. I do not like being told what I can or can't do. I know what's right, and I know what I'm doing. And so this last time, I was strung out and miserable, and my buddy happened to visit. He'd been out camping in a van all year, and I just asked him, dude, please take me with you. I need to do something. I need to be out in nature. And that's what I've come to realize over time is I knew it. I needed to be out in nature, not in a fucking facility. And while I did learn a lot at rehabs, and I met some great people, absolutely. It's like just the whole system, man, systems, I don't like them. Just don't like it. So this time we went out camping at the coast, and it was fucking freezing, fogging, and the first day was miserable. I was just cold, sick, didn't want to be there anymore. And that night I was sitting there around the fire by myself, because like when you're withdrawing, you're awake for like 22 hours a day, so my buddy's off sleeping, I'm sitting out there alone in the fog and the rain, and the wind is blowing through the trees, and I'm sitting there miserable, and I was kind of like trying to distract my mind by listening to the wind blow through. And I realized the beauty of the motherfuckers. And then I looked at the fire, and I realized, like, I'm burning these guys. And instantly, everything changed. Everything changed. I thanked the trees for, their life and sacrifice to warm me up. And from that moment, I realized that this can be a miserable experience, or I can stand up and defy it and thank the universe for everything it's throwing at me. If it's fucking raining, like, thanks for raining the liquid I need to survive down on my head, like, you bitch. And I thank the moon for coming out, giving me light, and the sun for warming me up, and the trees for burning the food. And food, that is a way to justify purpose. See, through stopping seeking purpose, I began to find it everywhere. There is purpose everywhere in this goddamn universe, and food is one of the biggest ones. See, every time you eat, you are destroying other organisms, right? So you have to destroy these other organisms in order to have energy. And so if you are not using that energy to positively influence the world around you, and you are like narcissistic and consuming, like I used to be, like, you're a parasite. You are death incarnate. You are destroying for your own sake. And I realized that if I'm going to be destroying these organisms, then I need to be using all that energy I can to make the world as beautiful as I can. Otherwise, I might as well kill myself, because you're dead. And I refuse to be that. I refuse to be a parasite anymore. So I have to look at, what am I producing? What am I putting into the world? And when I started having these thoughts, I started looking around my room, my house, and look at everything around you, from your dresser. The wood started off as a seed, got harvested, planted, grew for 20 years, chopped down, brought to the fucking logging factory, made into the thing. You had to use gas to go get it, haul the damn thing home. A receipt paper was printed that also started off as a tree. All this energy, and you look at everything. The mirror, the sand that it took to melt it down, the plastic started off as oil, and you really start to understand all this stuff that comes in from the universe, making these very, very complex and very energy consuming routes. And then you think about, what am I producing? What am I putting into the world? Looking around made me sick to my stomach. I'm going like minimalist. I'm just gonna start getting rid of shit because it makes me feel greasy. I don't like it. Like, maybe other people can handle it, but I can't. And so that has me focused on, what am I to produce? What am I supposed to put into the world? And I'm figuring all that out. But one of the main things is information. Like, I am an existentialist. I obsess over why we're here, and with that comes trying to understand things like physics and chemistry and computers and nature, everything. It encompasses literally everything. And Socrates said that philosophy is the highest art form, and I didn't believe that for a long time until I really started to think about it. Philosophy is the understanding and betterment of the self. All other art is the expression of the self. And so, not that you can't better yourself through art, but philosophy is the highest. And what am I if not a philosopher at heart? I love information. I love the universe. I want to share that. And so, that's how I can contribute right now. That's all I got at the moment. But we'll get further down the road later with other things. But gratitude is ironic, because when I started doing that, I got back, and 2 weeks later, a friend of mine posted this scientific article that talks about how your brain rewires itself when you start expressing gratitude. And I just laughed out loud when I read it, because it was just one of those weird synchronicities. 2 weeks after I started doing it, here's this research. It was beautiful. And so now, I personify everything, right? I talk to everything, and express gratitude for it being there, because it's all part of the universe, right? And if I personify everything, it makes it more emotionally real. And so that alone has changed my personality just as much as love or psychedelics could. Because it is love, right? It's love for yourself, and it's love for the universe itself, because what are you if not the universe? So this is going to be the last video I post for a while. I have to start bringing the science together and writing my thoughts out, because when I do these things off the cuff, I get so wrapped up and stoked to be sharing stuff that I find sets my soul on fire, that I forget information. It's like I just get stoked and lose track of stuff. So I'm gonna start writing things out, and I think if these things can convince me, help me, maybe they can help you. Well, we'll fuck around and find out.